You ever heard the conspiracy theory that Paul McCartney died in a car crash in 1967 and they replaced him? Well, I always thought it was BS, but after really looking into it, I think there's a lot of truth behind it. Take a look at this. So in 1967, Paul was in a major car crash, and a lot of people thought that he died. Now, the interesting thing is when you look at these pictures, they don't look like the same person. So something fishy is going on. When you put these pictures into a program and you overlay them, you can clearly see that these features are off. Now, faces definitely change over time. Facial structures even change over time, but they don't change like that in 2 years, for sure. Drastic changes like this don't happen, I believe, in 2 years. Now, besides the claims that Ringo Starr has come clean because he just couldn't keep the secret anymore, it was too much for him to bear, the Abbey Road Beatles cover holds a lot of hidden information. One of the smaller things on this cover is the car in the background. The license plate says 28 if. And what's interesting is if Paul McCartney hadn't died in that car accident, he would have been 28 while they were making this album. That's the first little clue. Now, the second tidbit of this is that people speculate the order of them walking is a funeral procession. Ringo Starr is the congressionate, George Harrison is the gravedigger, Paul is the corpse, and John Lennon is the priest. A lot of people also think this because Paul isn't wearing any shoes, and in a lot of cultures, they bury the dead with no shoes on. But what else is interesting is Paul was a lefty and smoked cigarettes with his left hand, and in this photo, he's smoking one with his right. Here's where it gets real crazy. The song, I Am the Walrus. If you look at the lyrics of that song, it is the most ridiculous song you've ever seen. The lyrics, it's so hard to understand. The song makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, as you can see. If you want to screenshot it so you can read it more, but it makes no sense. It's ridiculous. The crazy part about it is John said that he loves writing weird and esoteric music, but supposedly a student at his former high school wrote him a letter that said his school was studying his music. And that got him so fired up because he was John, you know, and he decided he was going to write a song so incredibly hard to understand that no one would ever be able to study it. But then in The Glass Onion, he tells us that the walrus is Paul. There is a couple of things that you can understand in the song, I Am the Walrus, like when he talks about Bloody Tuesday. And what's interesting about that is Paul's car accident was on a Tuesday. He was leaving the studio late at night and he got into an accident because he was tired. That's the claim. But it was on a Tuesday. And in that song, it says Bloody Tuesday. Not only that, but a team of forensic researchers wanted to disprove the claims that he had died in a car crash. They found out through doing tons of forensic research that this Paul is not the original Paul. And it is, in fact, an imposter. And just for the sake of this video, my last piece of evidence before I go is that in 1967, the Beatles Monthly reported that Paul McCartney died in a car crash. And then they took it back. Now, I think Paul McCartney was taken out for one reason or another. Don't know why. Maybe he wouldn't sell his soul. I don't know. It's a sick world we live in. Sick industry. And then, later down the road, I think that John Lennon wouldn't play ball. He didn't want to play ball. So they whacked him too. That's what I think. And there's a lot of proof out there. But then I'll just be a conspiracy theorist. So I don't know 100%. But you are allowed to think things in this world. And again, this is for your entertainment. Love you all. Thanks for the follows. Hit follow if you like videos like this. And if you like videos like this, please go through my videos and look at them. Tell me what you think. Comment. Hit like. Love you all. This is for your entertainment. Again, I'll say it twice, TikTok.